Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Jason and welcome back to Tech Tuesday. A comment by Robo Austin told me to give some tips to new Redstoners getting into Redstone, which is why today I'm going to be giving 6+ tips of what I think you should do if you want to start redstoning. And let's get straight into it, guys. Hope you enjoy. The first tip I can give you all is to know your redstone blocks. If you head into our creative inventory and check out the redstone tab, you can see that there's a whole bunch of blocks you can choose from. The best thing to do to get started is to know what all these blocks do and learn how to use them. Here are a few you should know. What is the difference between a dropper and dispenser? A sticky piston and piston, and how many blocks can a piston push? What in the world does a hopper do? What is the difference between a heavy-weighted and light-weighted pressure plate? Why is this guy looking at me funny? What is the difference between a wooden... What are delays on repeaters for? What's subtract on a comparator? And most importantly, why in the world is this a redstone feature? Psst, here are the answers. Here you have a dropper and a dispenser. They both have arrows. You can see when you hit the button, the dropper drops its arrow, while the dispenser shoots it into the distance. Next, a sticky piston will retract its block, while a regular piston will spit out its block and not retract it. The maximum push limit for a piston is 12 blocks. You see we have 12 in this line right here. We push it, it works, but if you had another one, nope. A hopper is useful for putting items into chests like dispensers or containers. See? Right, that. The difference between a heavy-weighted pressure plate and a light-weighted pressure plate is, you know, quite, I don't know, not very important, but you can see it takes more items to activate a iron one rather than a gold one. That's all you should know. See, we place down just that many items, it will get us 2 redstone dust lines. And if we place that same amount of items onto the iron pressure plate, you can see that it actually gives us only 1. That's a difference right there. Not really useful. He just doesn't like you. A wooden button lasts a bit longer than a stone button. It's kind of hard to tell when I do it this way, but you can pretty much see that a wooden button does last longer. Ticks on a repeater are just delay. Look over here on the design next to us. We can see this one is no delay, and this one with 3 ticks of delay. We hit this button. Look which one happens first. The one with less delay. That's what a repeater is for. Subtract mode does what it says. Subtract. You can see we have 2 redstone currents, one 2 blocks long, one 1 block long, as you can see by the lighting up of the dust. The output is currently none, but if we extend this pulse, and we subtract 2 from 4, which is this one right now, you can see we actually get a pulse out length of 2, because 4 minus 2 is 2, and it's just too long. And finally, nobody really knows this is a feature in the game. I really am scared for it. The next tip I can give you is to make a testing world. Just go around, build whatever you want, experiment with redstone contraptions, even if it's not redstone. It doesn't have to be. Notice the slab and the water thing I have in the right next to the screen. Not redstone, but I used the redstone testing world to experiment. If you're wondering why this one is so small, it's because I recently made a new one for 1.13.2 after I upgraded my 1.8.9 redstone testing world. Never mind. The point is, make a redstone testing world to experiment your ideas, and you won't regret it. The next tip I can give you guys is don't have to be original. I mean, don't publish other people's content as your own, but don't be afraid to copy other circuitry as well. Take into account this flying machine. I found the design on YouTube, but for my base, I need a 4x4 top. All I did was modify the original design just a tiny bit, but the same mechanism still works. Point is, modify redstone designs to your own needs, but don't be afraid to use circuitry that other people have already developed. Just because redstone YouTubers have published it doesn't mean you can't use it. They do it so that you can use it and learn from it. So modify things to your own needs, but just again, copying is fine. Tip number 5 is to watch other YouTubers. I probably should have saved this for last, so it's the most cliche ending to one of these videos, but watching YouTubers such as Mumbo Jumbo, SethPlaying, any HermitCraft member, the SethPlaying, still Redstone, and Il Mango, all of these are amazing YouTubers that do great redstone designs, and it's awesome to watch them. Not me, I'm not very good at redstone. Anyway, by watching other YouTubers, you can learn from their designs, and while some YouTubers like Mumbo Jumbo, for example, like in their previous video, didn't really explain how they did things, it's always good to watch others and learn from their techniques, because maybe you can implement it into your own work. Now, I kind of ran out of tips because I'm not really good at this kind of stuff, but The next few things I'm going to show you are just really helpful contraptions or things you should know about redstone that will definitely help you in your builds. Consider staying around because you might learn something new, but if you're not very experienced, then definitely watch them. There are things in Minecraft called clocks, things like hopper clocks, and clocks are pretty much things that give repeated outputs, such as this one. It's very simple, it just turns an output that blinks on and off. Another popular clock people use is the comparator clock. How to make it is simply a comparator and subtract mode, and there you go. And finally, my personal favorite, the observer clock. Very simple to make, it's just two observers kissing each other. On the topic of observers, observers detect the state of blocks. If you place a block in front of an observer, you see it gives an output. We didn't power it, no. If we power a redstone lamp, another thing that gives observers output. Another thing that gives an observer an output is if you push it. Furthermore, it will detect if a piston is powered, or if really any block is powered. Now, a common misconception is that if you put an item into a hopper or into a container, the observer will detect it. No, it will not. But if we do lock this hopper, then the observer will give an output. A really handy piece of circuitry in redstone is the double piston extender. Simply have a 2-tick repeater and an observer on top. Pretty much all you need to do is have any kind of input, and a block will travel 2 blocks from its starting location. This is a really useful piece of circuitry, and I definitely recommend you implement these into a lot of your redstone builds. On the topic of double piston extenders, there is also a horizontal one, which is also very important to know how to make. This is just a simple design that I learned first. All you need is a repeater set to 4 ticks, and a repeater set to 2 ticks, and some redstone dust, and there you go. I will not go into detail on triple piston extenders, but if you want to see it in the top right now, I show all the great piston extenders you should know. I earlier mentioned something about locking hoppers. A locked hopper is pretty much a hopper that will not deliver any items. See how this hopper delivers the item to its partner? Yeah, that works, but if you lock this hopper, like place a redstone torch underneath it, you can see that it will no longer deliver items. Although, while it cannot deliver, it can still pick up items from nearby hoppers. Comparators can take outputs through blocks. It's really good to know when building designs that want to look seamless. It's really cool. This is what is known as a T flip-flop. It pretty much gives the output of a lever when using a button. Of course, you could use a lever, but if you want to use a button, here's how you do it. All you need is a redstone torch, 2 sticky pistons, a cauldron full of water, and a comparator, and there you go. When you press the button, it gives the output of a lever, and you can toggle it on and off like so. The final tip I'm going to give is really more of a tip. Remember this thing, the monostable circuit? Well now, this is something that you should all know when building a circuit that requires 2 things. Like if you have a door and you want to do something different on the closing than on the opening, like when you flick the lever once it'll do something, when you turn the lever off it'll do something else, this is perfect for you. As you can see, the monostable circuit only works when the lever is turned on. When the lever is turned off, the monostable circuit gives no output. Lo and behold, it's quite simple. And we can make it even more simple. But what if you want something to do it when the lever is off? Well, there's something for that as well. I can even make this not simple, it doesn't have to be a monostable circuit. I'm just going to show you the basic principle here. So you can remove this, put on more dust, and that's what we'll do when the lever is powered on. If we put a redstone torch on the side, the signal will get inverted, which means that only when the lever is off will this certain output come on, which is really useful in putting different circuits for the same contraption together, because you can only do something on a falling edge and on the rising edge. And just because it's good to know, I'm going to tell you the falling edge monostable circuit, which is pretty much the same thing as a regular monostable circuit, 1-tick pulse, which is really useful by the way, and it's just when the lever is turned off. All you need is a redstone torch, a dropper, a hopper, and your block of choice, and of course a comparator, because otherwise hoppers would not be useful in redstone. I mean, they still can do chests and stuff, I guess. All you gotta do is put an item into that hopper. Don't put your redstone torch like I did, folks. Place it on top, it's important, and you can see when the lever is on, nothing happens. If we turn it back off, and that's the off position, it gave an output. On, nothing happens. Off, we can have an output. But that is really all the tips I have for you today. I hope you have enjoyed this short video. I'm not a pro at redstone, and I know I did forget a lot of things, but I hope I have made your life a bit more knowledgeable. And if you have enjoyed, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video. It means the world to me, and I'm out. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Thank you so much for watching. So tonight we losing this fight, or help. So tonight is no one outside who's gonna help our souls tonight.